Hello, my fellow speakers. This is Brian, the speaker for the dead, coming to you tonight. Once again, I apologize for the quality of my voice and the fact that I look like somebody's been punching me in the face. Still trying to get over a cold this week, but I did want to do a real quick video for you tonight because this is some important subject matter. Because this is kind of this really gets to the whole heart of partly why I started this channel. I wanted to discuss cool and important things and get conversations going and talk about stuff that matters to all of us out here creating content. So we're going to talk about something kind of big that's happening this weekend that just shines a light on what is wrong with entertainment and what is wrong with Hollywood in general. Like I said, I'm getting over a cold, so I apologize. But I just couldn't not say something about this. I could not let this pass without having something out there about this. So what am I talking about? Charlie's Angels, of course.
It's the crew from hell.
And Ford versus Ferrari. This is going to be a little bit of a weekend review, but mainly we're going to cover those two topics, those two films primarily, because it is the best and most glaring example of everything that everyone in the fandom menace and everyone like that who is truly sincere about saving our pop culture and saving entertainment and enjoying life and living life and being able to go and do things without being beat over the head with other people's politics 24 hours a day. And that's kind of the overall theme of this show is politics, but how it affects our lives. Because that's the problem right now, is politics is in everything. You cannot escape it. You can't get away from it. Now, I know you're going to say, well, Brian, you're talking about politics too. Well, that's right, because you can't escape it. Now, I'm pointing out the problems with that, but you have to talk about it. So it's a double-edged sword. You can't win, and you can't win. Nobody's going to let us stop talking about politics until we drive this psychotic politic kind of nonsense out of our lives. And that's what I'm here to do, is to help with that. Anyway, let's get into this information. I did some research online, went through IMDb and some other sites looking for information. So here's the numbers. I'm going to give you the numbers first, and then we're going to go back and talk about each one of these films. So the budget for Charlie's Angels, now I'm talking about the newest version, the 2019 one, the one that has just come out, had a budget of $48 million estimated. Now, that doesn't include the marketing costs or any of that kind of stuff. That's just estimated budget for the film, to create the film. It made this weekend $8.6 million in the U.S. That's not good. That's like it made back a fifth of what it took to make that film in its opening weekend. Now, anybody who knows anything about the entertainment industry knows that they depend upon that opening weekend. It's usually never going to get better than that. Opening weekend is where they're going to see how this film is going to track. Now, it wasn't a super high budget film, so, they don't have a lot of risk, but $48 million is still a lot of money, especially when you're not going to make it back. Or if you make it back, it's going to be by the skin of your teeth, but you're not making back your marketing costs, your in any of that extra stuff that's on top of what it took to make the film. Now, it made $27.9 million worldwide. But like I said, it just goes down from here on in. And the worldwide total doesn't count as much because the movie companies only get a portion of that. A lot of that goes to the outside theaters and other national distribution and all that kind of stuff. So the studios don't see nearly as much of that worldwide total. Now, the other movie that it opened up against this weekend, of course, is Ford versus Ferrari. Now, this is a film that I was kind of interested in because I'm a super car nut guy. I love watching shows like Top Gear, especially the UK Top Gear, which is really the only Top Gear anyone should ever watch, is the UK one. It was the original. It's the best one. I mean, Jeremy Hammond and May. I mean, they're masters of that kind of show. They just, you can't top them. Now I watch them on Amazon through Grand Tour. But they've tried to get rid of those guys and then do it with other people, and it's not the same. They made that show what it was. Anyway, off on subject. But it ties into this Ford versus Ferrari thing. Now, the budget for that film was $97.6 million to make Ford versus Ferrari. It opened worldwide with 37,000 basically. That was the US take, 31 million and change. That was the US amount that it took in this weekend. And worldwide it took 52 million in. So it's already on its way back to making its money back, and it's going to make its money back, and it's going to make a profit because it's still going to be going for weeks and weeks. And I hear it's an absolutely fantastic film. But I mean, so let's get into the nitty gritty dirt and grime of the films here. What the differences are. One is a film people wanted to see, or people may have not been. Both of these films are films that you could see. There's a little bit of a demand for that, but not. I mean, it wasn't something like everybody's clamoring for a car movie or everybody's clamoring for a Charlie's Angels film. But here's the difference: the one has been well received. One, it's got great actors, great character, great story. This is, in the automotive world and racing world, this is a huge story. This is what gave us the Ford F40, or the Ford, I think it's the F40. Which was not supposed to be this big car, and it came back to beat Ferrari. I won't pretend to know all the details about this story, and I haven't seen the film yet. I'm looking forward to seeing it. But you put that up against Charlie's Angels. Nobody wanted to see this. Let me give you some visual representations as to why this might be. All right. Now, on the top of this picture, these are the original Charlie's Angels. Okay, I can't even tell you all the people's names. The girl in the middle went on to do Remington Steele, which was a good show. I don't know. I remember watching this Charlie's Angels in the 70s. Now look at those women. Okay, I say women. These are women in this show, the original show. Now look down at the bottom of this picture. Are those women? No. Those are little girls. Those are little girls pretending to be women. Okay? This is one of those situations where the women on the top, I could see them being kick butt, smart, intelligent. They look smart and intelligent. Now look at the ones on the bottom. I wouldn't trust them to drive my pickup around the block, let alone save anybody from anything. Okay? Not even. I mean, I'm sorry. It's like trusting the world's fate to 5 17-year-olds or 3 17-year-olds, pardon me. Nobody wants to do that. Are you crazy? I mean, you've got women versus little girls in a film. And you thought this was going to be good. Okay, now we can go on and see, because here's the second incarnation of Charlie's Angels. Once again, women. These are women. Okay, they may not have been the women I would have chosen, but I like Lucy Liu, I like Cameron Diaz, and I like I just lost her. Yeah, Drew Barrymore. Pardon me. But I mean, they're not my most favorite actresses of all time. But I could see them doing this. Maybe Drew Barrymore the least of all. But this? No. Kristen Stewart.
Oh, come on. You gonna leave me all alone here with less angry Rosie O'Donnell?
Has the acting range of a potato chip. Okay? Now, full disclosure, I liked the Twilight series books. I know, okay? But I'm sorry. They were good books. They really were. I liked them. They were interesting. I enjoyed them as a book series. So I can't really, fault that. I liked it as a book series until they cast her and Robert Pattinson, the two most wooden young adults they could have possibly gotten. That's how they delivered their lines. Edward, you are so awesome. I know, Bella. I know I'm so awesome. What? And then they cast her in this, and now they've cast Robert Pattinson as the next Batman.
Cause of what?
Fire all the casting directors in Hollywood. Please fire them all. They don't know what they're doing. They're casting children in adult roles. They're casting men in girls roles, girls in men roles. And and I'm not saying you can't have some interchange. I'm not saying girls can't be badasses. I'm not saying men can't be tender and kind. You don't know how to do it anymore. You stupid. Seriously, how did you go from this to this? You look up and then you look down and you just feel disappointment. I do, anyway. Now, this is how much they are excited about this film. It's blurry. The photographs for this film, I couldn't even clean them up to get them to look good for this video. I sat there and messed around and tried. So this is the Elizabeth Banks, who is the director, the writer, the kind of the person behind this film, and then the three nincompoops that they got: Kristen Stewart, Naomi Scott, and Jane Kano. Who? Kristen Stewart's the only one I even knew the name of, and I wish I didn't. That's who they rested this film on. Nobody's. Are they superstars? Are they crowd drawers? Are they household names? Not even a little. Not even a little. And that's what they're basing their movie on. Now look at the difference. The pictures on the internet for Ford versus Ferrari are spectacular. They are huge. They are in high resolution detail. Look at that car. Look at Matt Damon and Christian Bale. You can see them, and they're that big in the picture. Clear as bell. Again, here, another picture. This is photographed, and this is done in such a way as that you can see the details of his whiskers. Which film do you think they've got more invested in? Blurry McBlurness or crystal clear images that can be found on the internet? Now, maybe I was lazy and I didn't go through and find enough of pictures. But that's not the beginning and the end. But here's some basic questions I'm going to ask about each of these films. Did anyone ask for Charlie's Angels to be rebooted? No. Are any of these girls superstars? No. Can they act? No. Now let me ask the same questions. Did anyone ask for Ford versus Ferrari? No. I don't remember hearing any huge clamoring. But is it an interesting subject matter? Absolutely. Even people who aren't car people have got to be able to step back and go, that's pretty cool historically. There was this huge rivalry and there was this big story going on there. Maybe if you're not into cars, you don't care. It's just, but let me continue with my questions here. All right. Can these main actors act? Yes. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Matt Damon because he's a flaming liberal Looney Tune. And with his politics, I'm sure Christian Bale is too. But they can act. They can act. You believe that they're in these roles. You believe that they're good. I mean, Matt Damon's been in some of the biggest films, Saving Private Ryan, and I mean, Ocean's 11, and I mean, loads and loads. Christian Bale, Batman, he's got loads and loads. American Psycho, huge filmographies that these guys have. So they can take something that may not be that interesting, and I am going to go see Ford versus Ferrari because I want to support this film, and it looks really good. I haven't got there yet. I haven't been home that long this week. But I mean, just to see how it's doing in the theaters, people are interested in this, and word of mouth is spreading. This is a dang good movie. Go see this movie. Now, is that being done for this? No. Every review, everything I'm hearing, don't go see this. It's super wokety woke. Girl power, lesbian thing. Kristen Stewart came out and she's a lesbian now. She was dating and having sex with Robert Pattinson at one time, but now she's a lesbian. So, see, it's got to be super cool. And they're going to blame all of this on male, white, misogyny, blah, blah, blah. That's why nobody liked to see these films. Setting up these straw arguments for them to knock down to make it look like they have a point is so pathetic. It's so pathetic. Men go to see superhero films with girls in them all the time. Men supported all kinds of female superheroes, but not when they don't act like girls. When you've got girls that are being forced to act like men, and then being surprised when the men are like, okay, that's not realistic. You got girls acting like dudes, and no guy wants to see that. I mean, gee, when are they going to get it? Not till they're broke. I'm afraid, and that's the sad thing. But they use movies like Ford versus Ferrari to be able to make these woke crap fests, and it's like, don't you see that's just throwing money away? What are you? That's like retarded. Oh, I said the R word. What are you? Fools? Sorry, I had to come up with another word because the word police may come out of the walls and beat me to death on my own channel. So, anyway, this is so sad. This is so pathetic that this is what we're left to with entertainment. But I hear Ford versus Ferrari is great. There's not 1 ounce of wokeness in it at all, which I'd go see it just for that. Just to know nobody in that film is going to be preaching women, transgendered, gay, this, something that. There doesn't have to be that in every story. There really doesn't. Stop trying to sneak it into all of our entertainment. Make it out there in the open, and if people want to go see it, then they can. But they can't even do that anymore because they realize that doesn't work. So they try and sneak it into every little film out there and make it all seem like it's just, this is normal. Brian, this is normal. There are at least 50% of gay and transgender people in everything, everywhere, all the time.
Here in Cloud Cuckoo Land, there are no rules. There's no government, no babysitters, no bedtimes, no frowny faces, no bushy mustaches, and no negativity of any kind.
You just said the word no like 1,000 times.
And there's also no consistency.
There are. You just don't know it. No, there's not. There's like 1% of the world population that falls into those categories, and you'd think it's 50%. Anyway, I'm just ranting now, mainly because I'm just kind of sick and tired of this. Anyway, go see Ford versus Ferrari and walk right past Charlie's Angels and laugh. In fact, I'm almost tempted, if there's a poster, to go in there and just draw little mustaches on their face.
Are you sure?
Does this look unsure to you?
No.
Good. Now go spread the word.
Because they want to be men anyway. They're acting like men. You know what makes cool female superheroes is like when Black Widow was first in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. She used her womanhood to its full advantage. I don't want a female person to act like a man. They have unique characteristics that make them better at men at certain things. Seduction, slipping under the radar, being incognito. I mean, a lot of times women aren't looked at the same way as far as with suspicion, and they'll always look at a guy first. I mean, women could walk into so many places that a man would never get in without being looked at 100 different ways. But, I mean, it's just, I love it when they use women's female characteristics to show just how good they can be, and how, because they're different, they're going to be able to succeed in ways that a guy couldn't. That's what they need to be celebrating. Real womanhood, woman characteristics, women being the best women can be. That's what is awesome. Stop trying to make them act like men, and stop trying to make men act like women. That doesn't work, and it's never going to. Rant over. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, and comment back. I'd love to have a conversation with you guys about this. Welcome to all the new subscribers. I've got some new subscribers that have recently come to the channel. Love to have you here. Love your comments. I appreciate you guys getting involved and putting word, getting commenting out there, so that we can have a conversation, that I can see what you're thinking. This is where I need to go. This is what I need to talk about. You agree with this, you don't agree with that. That gives me feedback to know where I need to take this, so that you get the maximum enjoyment from what I'm doing, because I enjoy what I'm doing. Anyway, have yourselves a great night, and we will talk to you next time. And Lord, forgive us for Charlie's Angels. I'm sorry. So sorry.